Femi addition of Nigerians more attracted to Buhari than Awolowo, Azikwe and Aminu Kano. Welcome to the news, and please listen to the end. President Muhammad Buhari pulls more crowd than notable politicians such as Nnamdi Azikwe, Femi Awolowo and Aminu Kano, according to Mr. Femi Adesina. Although Awolowo, Azikwe and Kano are dead, they command huge respect across board till date. Each of them played huge roles in making Nigeria attain independence, and the country's history is incomplete without them. But in his weekly article, Adesina, who is Buhari's spokesman, aligned with the thoughts of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, but Buhari is probably Nigeria's most popular politician. Osinbajo made this claim while addressing diplomats at the Nigerian High Commission in London last week. In his article, Adesina wrote, "Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is an honest man. Whatever he tells you, please take it serious. You can even take it to the bank, as it is a check that will never bounce." There may be a tendency to say, what else do you expect a number two man to say of his principal? He will not exorate or flagellate him in public, and because he may possibly need his support for the number one position at a time in the future, so he will say sugary things. For a typical politician, ambition, cold, calculating, scheming, yes. But those of us who work with the duo know that Professor Yemi Osinbajo is not in that mode. He is honest, factual, totally dependent on God for whatever the future holds. Nothing is a matter of life and death, and so he could have chosen to keep quiet about the attributes of the president so that he would not be misconstrued. When he said Buhari was possibly Nigeria's most popular politician that we have had in generations, I believe it. Not just by the hearing of the ear, but because my eyes have seen it. I am old enough to have seen our colorful and even swashbuckling politicians in action. I have seen the great Femi Awolowo, the charismatic Nnamdi Azikwe Zik of Africa, Shehu Shagari, Aminu Kano, MK Abiola, Bashar Tofo, and many others in action, but I have not seen anyone with the kind of attraction, magnetic pull that Muhammad Buhari has. And that is around the country, north and south. People swarm around him as bees do to honey. No Nigerian leader dead or alive can match Buhari's public appeal. I have been around the country with the president. I have also been to several countries of the world with him. I have not seen any other Nigerian leader pass the presence with this kind of allure, pull, fascination, magnetism. And that is why the Vice President Osinbajo has a right to have described him as possibly the most popular Nigerian politician that we ever had in this generation. Adesina buttressed this point of Buhari being admired by many Nigerians, with an instead of how a crowd trooped to the streets when the president returned from his longest medical vacation abroad. I remember that day in August 2017 when the president returned to the country finally from his medical vacation. From January that year, he had been in and out a couple of times, but spending weeks and months outside, attending to his health, he wrote. And finally, on August 19, he returned home triumphantly. We were at the airport to receive him. I have told the story a number of times to dispel the idiocy that it was a certain Jibril of Sudan that came back and not Buhari. The daughter of the immediate past chief of defense staff, Jen Gabriel Oloni Sakin, was getting married, and I had attended both the church service and reception, decked in full Yoruba traditional attire of agbada and a cap to match. Straight from the ceremony, I went to the airport to join the welcome party for the president. We, the principal aides, were on the line to receive the president as he descended from the aircraft. And he shook hands with each person, having one wise sack or the other, to say, as it is typical of him, when he got to me, he said, "Adesina, this is the best I've seen you dressed." And we both laughed. Jibril of Sudan, how did he know I was Adesina? How would he know how I normally dressed? Idiocy, I say again. But this is just a discretion, not the story I really want to tell to support the topic at hand. We entered the vehicles lined up and the convoy moved. It was perhaps the longest journey I have ever witnessed from the airport to the town. Where did they come from? Like locusts that swarmed onto the road, at many times forcing the convoy into a crawl. I did not know that such population resided in the communities along the airport road. Not induced or procured in any way, the people trooped out in their thousands to welcome the president back home. Multitude of ordinary Nigerians, The ones bearing the brunt of whatever was happening in the country then, they came onto the roads, waving, cheering, heralding the man they loved back into the country. Many times the convoy was forced to a dead slow until the president had to wave at them, and they cheered uproariously. It looked double or triple the normal time before we could get to the presidential villa. Femi Adesina, your conscience will torment you to death for opening your mouth and telling lies just to remain relevant in Aso Rock. Hell is open for this man already because of what he will eat and crab from his oga. He put up lies upon lies. Upon lies. Can that fool us? Tell us how many people they paid to come out in the next 1 year and 7 months. Hope he will not run away to seek refuge in Oyibo land. Adeshina, so you know there were those who will do things as a matter of life and death. Truth is coming out small. Femi, you're useless. Oh my goodness. Very soon you will leave office. By that time, you would know what you have done to yourself because you cannot move freely in the street. Hello, fellows. Are you really sure? Because Nigerians as a stock easily forget and surprisingly gloss over such fundamentals as if we are under the pool and pills of amnesia. However, these sundry atrocities might continue for a long while as the nation at large is on progressive and generational trend. After all, it is duly settled and done. Our future societies might possibly disagree that their past generation once passed through these torturous and evil rules. History will then bear witness. Send Femi Adesina to psychology test, oh my goodness, to ascertain his mental health. He should know that there is a parallel line between notoriously known and popularly known in the minds of the people. He can also say Abacha is popular. So in your dictionary, poverty, rape, killings, and killing is more attractive to you. And if that is the case, then that is your portion. Every tribe has its own palace jesters. This man intentionally would just want to provoke Nigerians because he doesn't look like a mental deranged person to me. When you leave Aso Rock, how will you move freely in town for all the trash you have been insulting us with? Yes, why not? For bringing poverty and starvation to the country. I know it is not your brain talking, rather your stomach. Such a waste of one of the finest brains in journalism. I saw Femi Adesina in a dream yesterday. I saw him being thrown to hell and he was calling upon Buhari to save him. And Buhari told him that his own fire is burning him mercilessly. Who will quench? Oh my goodness. This is too cruel. I can see the reason the country is in this position. Our president was surrounded by sycophants who cannot tell him the truth, but keep on saying flattery things as to maintain their livelihood. However, think of what Nigerians shall say about you in future. Remember the bodies for a while, and everything you do is going into history. On this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen until I come your way next time. Enjoy the rest of your day.